We have an obligation and responsibility as Canada to stop denying people's rights and recognize the citizens of the Métis Nation in a way going forward that allows them their right to self-government. And I think that's why today is such an exciting day for the Métis Nation.
The federal government has signed historic first agreements with the Métis. Crown-Indigenous Minister Carolyn Bennett and the leaders of the Métis nations in Ontario, Alberta and Saskatchewan signed agreements today that give the Métis jurisdiction in core governance areas like citizenship, leadership selection and government operations. The agreements also give the Métis nations the chance to develop their own laws and to draft constitutions to govern their communities. What does it all mean for Métis across Canada who have been fighting for decades to have their Indigenous rights recognized? Glenn McCallum is the president of the Métis Nation, Saskatchewan. That nation represents about 80,000 people. He's in studio with me today. Thank you for coming in, sir. I appreciate it.
Nice to be here.
Let's begin with your reaction overall. Why is today a significant day?
It's very significant in the sense that the history of the Métis, as you well know, the resistance happened in Batoche and events happened in Manitoba, but now that we have a close relationship with the federal government, it really is something to really celebrate in regards to how far we've come in the 175 years anniversary of Riel being our leader. So today was very significant in regards to the things that we have to do as a Métis Nation. When the Daniels case came down, the federal responsibility, now there is 3 distinct groups in Canada, Métis, First Nations, and Inuit, and we're one of them where now we have a true partnership with the federal government to be able to do the things that we want to do.
Let's talk about what those things are. Just to be clear, referencing that case, 2016, the Supreme Court of Canada found the federal government has responsibility to the Métis people of this country. So now, just 3 years later, here we are with what you have signed today. And it gives you authority over self-government, gives you authority over core functions like citizenship, leadership, government structures, financial accountability. Can you give me some concrete examples in terms of what will change? What will you be able to do now that you haven't been able to do to this point?
You know, the questions that you ask are great in regards to what are the Métis going to do. It's not as if we sat back and didn't do anything. We have in Saskatchewan a constitution. We have in Saskatchewan areas that we've been working on, say the framework agreement that we have, but prior to that, in 1985, we started working on doing research and doing harvesting studies. We did research on land claims based on mapping. We've done all of that. So it's just a matter of bringing the pieces together and having capacity to be able to do it. So we've done quite a bit. You know, even in education, we have GDI. We have in economic development, CCDF, Saskatchewan Métis Economic Development Corporation.
So you've done all of this to this point. Then, yes, with the groundwork laid, what is your vision then of what this Métis government will look like?
There's some gaps, as you well know, in the Métis community, and one of them would be post-secondary, and that's what we've got some dollars for that, and we're going to set up working on policies as we speak with our office to be able to put out some dollars for this fall for our students, and we're going to do that. So there's the capacity really puts us in a spot where we can actually do real work. Like the lawyer that we have is Tom Isaac that works with us on the framework. We have Terry Tobias, well known across the country regarding mapping, and Frank Tuff in regards to the script issue. So there's a lot of good people that we've hired already with the capacity that we've been given. But more importantly, now we can go now engaging. The most important part of our leadership is to be able to engage with our citizens. We have regions and locals that we have to engage with and get their ideas in regards to what they want to see. So we'll do that.
So the process underway. Scripted refers to land, and I want to come back to that in a second too. But these are over the broad areas right now. As I understand it, you're going to begin the process as well to negotiate over specific areas, chiefly as regards social services, healthcare, things of that nature. So what is left to do in the process?
There's sports and culture that needs to be addressed, and education dollars have been given now. And so housing has been given. There's a lot of work that we need to do, but there's specific dollars related to the things that we need to address, and those are the things that we're going to work on moving forward. And like I say, yeah, we have this government, but the engagement hasn't happened. too much in the past, but now that we have the capacity to do that, we need to hear from our people, and those are the grassroots people that we need to hear from.
To decide what it exactly looks like.
Exactly, yeah. And I'd want to do it. We have an idea in regards to what we should be doing, like post-secondary, but we need to be able to have the numbers in regards to where our weakness is, what do we need to hear from our citizens that we can work on and complement them in regards to their needs.
The agreement today does not resolve outstanding disputes over land claims. Does that take any of the shine off of today for you at all?
No, that's one of the key components of this agreement, which is the Northwest, as you maybe have heard. There's a land claim in the Northwest, and that's the basis when the government says, let's negotiate and not litigate. We have evidence to be able to support in regards to what that discussion should be around, where as far as land, the mapping, like I mentioned, there's batosh too, and that even on Section 35, that'll be part of the discussion as we move forward. So it's not as if we don't have the means to be able to do those things, but to have the government open that door for us to be able to say, we'll work with you and support you in those areas, it'll move the files a lot faster.
All right. You have described this earlier today as a momentous step toward reconciliation. And I'm wondering with whom that reconciliation is. Is it with Canada and the government, or is it with Canada's First Nations? Is there an aspect of that too?
Like I said, there's 3 distinct groups in Canada, Métis, First Nations, and Inuit. The reconciliation to me has always been where what has gone wrong, what happened in the past. Because there's a lot of missing pieces in our communities, including myself, where we weren't nurtured properly. If the kids were taken out at a very young age, put into residential school, the nurturing part of it is missing. So they come back home when they're about 15, 16 years old, and then they get into the workplace, they start having relationships, have kids, and then the dysfunction is created by that because the lack of nurturing, understanding of family structures were broken. So those are the things that need to be highlighted when we talk about reconciliation. Us too, we have to start realizing that we have to reconcile with ourselves individually and reconcile with our communities in regards to how can we build stronger programming for our people. And that's where the capacity comes in when we deal government to government, have given capacity in regards to, like you say, welfare. Imagine now with the resources that we can have from the government, the partnership we have, we'll do wonders.
As of today, a new starting point.
Exactly.
Glenn McCallum, thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video. Thanks for watching.